What's up, everybody? Big Hurt getting down fresh out. You tune in to another edition of Prison Talk. I have a very special guest with me, another YouTuber, Jessica Kent. And you guys asked me some questions that I could never answer because I'm not a woman. And so she was fortunate enough to hook up with us, and we were able to ask her some very pertinent questions that you guys are curious about. Jessica, one of the things that a lot of our fans have asked is like, what are the politics like in a women's prison? I know you being from New York, you did time in Arkansas. What were some of the issues? Because I know in California state prisons, men's prisons, there's a lot of racial issues, a lot of issues based on what city you're from. What is it like in women's prison?
So in New York, there's a little bit of racial division, but not much. I mean, you can, hang out with whoever. People usually click up based on where you're from,
Okay.
So what town you're from or what borough you're from. That's kind of how you link up. Arkansas, same kind of thing, but Arkansas is a little bit different in that there's just a lot of different segments to it. And I don't want to offend anyone by saying this, but this is just how it is. You can either hang out with tweakers and talk about meth recipes, or you can hang out with sex offenders who in female prisons walk the yard and they're in GP, or you can hang out with people that have like murder cases and stuff like that. So where do you think I fell in line? I'd much rather do my time with people that have a murder charge than talk about meth or hang out with sex offenders. You know what I mean? There are, of course, like low level, like petty crime, like robbery or things like that as well. I just found that I was more comfortable around lifers, someone that could teach me something or talk to me. As far as gangs, you're not going to see that. In my personal experience in a women's prison, I met plenty of gang members' girlfriends or cartel members' girlfriends, and they would click up a little bit sometimes together, but it was rare to see a big group as like a gang running the yard or have keys to the yard. That's just not shit that you're going to see in a women's prison.
That's interesting. You said you grouped them into like sex offenders because people don't associate women as being sex offenders.
Yeah.
So it's like that's totally like foreign to most, everybody listening to our channel because, guys, you're like, oh man, that dude. But in women's prison, it's like you wouldn't think that. That's pretty crazy.
You really wouldn't think that a woman could hurt her own child. I saw that a lot.
Wow.
So it would shock you when you hear about it.
But nobody talks about it really. Every now and then you hear something, but nobody really mentions that.
You think it's only men.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. And being that you were pregnant in prison and, having to deal with just the, going through pregnancy and other women, I mean, what, you talked about a little bit in your full interview, but what was that like, and then, the guards and stuff like that in the medical facility,
So I will say this, they don't care. They don't care that you're pregnant. You're just another inmate. You're 711-548. You're not Jessica Kent. You're not the girl, you're not a pregnant woman that wants a milkshake and her feet rubbed. You get in line, inmate. That's what it is. The staff was very, I didn't talk to officers other than to get toilet paper or for my mail. So I didn't have a lot of interaction with them, but I will say that in Arkansas, men, COs, will pat up or pat down women every single day. There was one guard in particular that, in my opinion, had a pregnancy fetish, and he would always pull me out of line, pull other pregnant women out of line to pat us down and make sure we're not stealing cornbread from the chow hall. Male correctional officers, which is disgusting in prison. You don't want to eat that cornbread. So why would I steal it?
You could throw it against the wall. It's like a rock.
Why would I steal it?
Yeah.
But no, a lot of the male correctional officers would watch females shower, and it wasn't just that I can see you, you can see me. They would even take it a step further and come up to women and tell them, I saw you in the shower earlier. It was awful.
Damn.
So they didn't care.
Wow.
It's very sketched. I was also serving time in a prison where the chaplain was convicted a year after I left of raping 5 women.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, so you're at the mercy of these male COs to some degree. Then I know you have aggressive female COs. I mean, what is your recourse? I mean, you can't really go to, then they're going to be like, oh, because you snitched, and then now it's they're going to tell the so-and-so said that you did this and that. So, I mean, what do? You just got to deal with it? I mean, how do you?
A lot of women that are in prison are scared. They're scared of the correctional officers. So much so that, you can't stand up for yourself or say anything crazy, which you shouldn't do anyway, man or woman in a prison. You shouldn't talk back to the guards or talk shit to the guards. It's going to get you beat up and put in seg.
Exactly.
Nothing's different when it comes to women. I've been pepper sprayed. I've been thrown on the ground and pulled to seg, pepper sprayed like snot everywhere because I got into a fight with a sex offender. They don't care. They don't care that you're female. You're still going to get your ass kicked and taken to seg. So it's a rough thing. It's a rough thing, especially with men. So when they were patting me down, I wanted to just, hit him with an elbow because I'm so like, you could just see it.
It's like, quit touching me.
Yeah, like I'm tense. Like I just want to fight. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would feel the same way. Even as I used to come out to y'all and they want to touch. I'm like, dude, why you want to touch on me, man? You know what I mean, dude? So what if I have a couple of eggs between my legs? You know what I mean? Why you want to touch on me? What were the situations like if somebody had money in there? Were they treated any different? Because I know like in certain prisons where guards know, oh, this guy got money. He's kind of like on a different, treated a little bit differently or.
Yeah. So there's a lot of the girlfriend thing. So if you are a femme, like me, there's two kinds of women, femme and a stud, right? So if you're a stud broad and you see a femme that has a lot of money, a lot of commissary, the stud broad's gonna try to
move on.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So if you have a lot of money or a high profile case and you have money, like Leslie McCool, who was on a Snapped episode that I did time with, people notice, they notice that you have money. They know you got a $25,000 inheritance and they want your food.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the girlfriend stuff as far as money, they want to know what you got. So
they're trying to I know in the male prisons, like when you're going to come, you don't want people to see you carrying out a bunch of bags. They say, hey man, carry this out, carry that out. Because then people are watching like, oh man, he go every week to commissary. He got full locker. Yeah. People would think about trying to extort you or rob you.
Yeah, and they do it on the sly sometimes, you know what I mean? A lot of women don't just walk up on you and try to rob you. They're like, let me get that. Let me get that soup. Like, no. And prison's a whole different thing. If I'm in the street, I'll let you borrow whatever. We're in prison. No, you can't have a cup of coffee. No, you can't have a soup. Like, get out of my face. So you just really have to stand up for yourself. But they, let me get that. Let me get that from you. Or they'll flirt with you for it. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't go to the store and come back with 5 bags. Inmates see everything. We're watching everything. Yeah. We're watching the CO's mood. Maybe the CO comes in one week with a wedding ring. This week he doesn't have it. He's going to be an asshole. So we're looking at details. We're looking at how you're responding to other inmates, how you come on the floor. So especially, inmate on inmate, I see you. I know you got that money slip come through mail.
So for women to have, like, I know we mentioned earlier, studs and femmes, for women to have relationships in prison is normal. It's not like in men, you're not, dude, if a dude is known to be homosexual and you're hanging out with him, you're going to be suspect, and it's like dudes won't even talk to you.
Oh yeah, totally different vibe, I'm sure. It's a little weird.
It's not accepted. You're not supposed to. As soon as they tell you, like, hey, boys, blah, 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 it's like, okay, I gave you a warning. Let me see how you react.
Yeah, I have heard that, gays and a man prison, they stick together. Gays run with gays.
Exactly.
It's not like that for women. So I was friends with plenty of stud broads, but I wasn't gay, and that was completely fine.
Okay.
I have walked in on many things. The shower at nighttime is definitely a girlfriend scene.
Oh wow.
Lights go out and people are having sex. I can't dance around that. People are having sex after lights out, and it's normal. It's not normal if you're like, ew, stop. Like, don't yell that in a GP unit. Like,
yeah, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, just look away. Put some music on or something. You know what I mean? It's more uncommon to see people standing up and be like, "Oh my God, stop!" Like, are you new? Like, just move on. So I have seen a lot of that situations. Or they'll have spotters because the way that Arkansas prisons do it, if you're caught having sex multiple times, they're going to label you as a sex offender when you get out. Oh, they're going to hit you with charges for having sex. So there's a whole system to have sex in a female prison. Got to have spotters. Got to have people that have your back.
Now, was it a cell situation or dorm?
Both. So I've been in both. Open bay dorms and then a closed tier cell. So programs are closed tier. People that work in the kitchen is a closed tier. So I've been in both.
Wow.
Closed cell is much better. You have a little more privacy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, hey, you guys, there you have it, man. Some of the stuff you guys have been asking us about that I couldn't answer, Jessica just filled you guys in, so
You're
stay
welcome.
laced up. Big Hurt Prison Talk.